In the empty rooms of his home, wandering among boxes full of his family's belongings, Matt Turner remembered better days. He missed his mother, who had died several years ago. He was angry at his father, Steve, for remarrying and for moving the family out to the countryside, just as school was starting. He knew he would be bored in the middle of nowhere. He missed his mother, who had died While the family prepared to leave, his younger sister Jennifer was still watching television. Matt defiantly changed the channel from a Lassie rerun to MTV. He had been rude to everyone lately, especially his stepmother Laura. Outside, as his family loaded the station wagon, Matt practiced his skateboard maneuvers. Would there be asphalt out in the country? What would he do for fun, he wondered. He wanted to stay in Baltimore with his friends instead of moving to the Virginia countryside. It was time to go. Matt climbed into the station wagon and put on his headphones. Jennifer soon fell asleep. The trip would take hours. They were headed to Franklin Falls, where Matt's mother was raised. The family was going to move into her old house. Hours later, just after nightfall, raindrops splattered hard against the windshield. "Look out!" Laura cried suddenly. Steve slammed on the brakes. There was an accident up ahead. Police cars and ambulances blocked the road. Their lights flashed brightly. The Turners got out to see if they could help. The storm had caused a rancher to crash his truck. His sheep were roaming the highway. At the roadside, a beautiful collie looked on as people tended to the driver on the stretcher. "Matt, look!" Jennifer said as she tugged his sleeve. She pointed to the beautiful dog, now alone without a master. "It's Lassie," she insisted.
Hey, Matt, look, it's Lassie!
Jennifer, please, you know there's no such thing as Lassie. First Santa Claus, now that... Holy cow.
See? I told you, it is Lassie!
Jennifer.
It's Lassie, Dad!
Jennifer, don't touch a strange dog. Come on.
Hurt.
Jen, he'll be fine. Come on.
It's a she.
Come on.
We can't just leave her here.
Sure we can.
Steve.
Honey, please.
She's all alone.
Matt, hop in.
The collie barked and wagged her tail as she gazed at Matt. He didn't seem to care. As the Turners left the accident scene, the rain-soaked collie dashed into the woods. Later that night, the Turners stopped for burgers and soda. Matt wasn't interested in food. He already missed his home. Jennifer looked out the diner window and gasped. "Look, it's Lassie! She's back!" Everyone looked. Sure enough, the collie had followed them to the restaurant. Outside, Jennifer begged her father to keep the dog. "It probably belongs to someone," he said. The collie licked his hand, then turned to Matt and lovingly nuzzled him. Steve and Laura smiled, hoping the dog would cheer up Matt. The young boy wasn't impressed. He pulled himself away from the dog's wet tongue. Jennifer pleaded with her father again. Laura wanted to keep the collie too. Finally, Steve agreed, and they named their new dog Lassie. The dog sat with Matt and Jennifer for the rest of the trip.
This dog stinks.
Look who's talking.
I don't have fur.
The next morning, the family arrived at Franklin Falls. They parked in front of an old, weathered building. As Matt looked around, a familiar voice boomed behind him. "There's my grandkids!" Grandpa Len shouted happily. After Matt and Jennifer hugged Grandpa Len, Steve introduced his father-in-law to his new wife, Laura. The old man missed his daughter, but he warmly welcomed Laura into the family. Just then, Lassie came forward and barked for attention. Grandpa Len noticed how beautiful the dog was. Its fluffy tan and white fur shimmered in the sun.
Hey, what do we have here?
That's a new dog.
Uh-oh. It's just a stray we picked up on the side of the road.
Just a stray? This is a beautiful dog. It's a fine pedigree, I bet you.
See?
The Turner family climbed into the station wagon and headed toward their new home. Pretty soon, the family came upon a fabulous modern house. Even Matt was impressed. "Is that our new house?" Jennifer asked. "No, sweetie," Steve said quickly. "We're up the road a bit." The car struggled up the rugged, muddy road. It stopped in front of the Turners' new home. The house was old and rickety. Inside, a note announced there would be no electricity for a few weeks. As the Turners unpacked the car, Matt grew angry. There were no lights, no television, and worst of all, no pavement for skateboarding. That night, Matt lay in his new bed. He hated this place. It seemed wrong to live in his mother's old house without her. Just then, Lassie scratched at the door. She pushed it open, her tail wagging happily. Matt barely noticed that she had come in to sleep at his bedside. The next morning, Matt awakened to a warm, radiant sun. Through his window, the view of the landscape was spectacular. After breakfast, Steve left to see about his new job with the Jarman family. Laura asked Matt and Jennifer to join her for a walk, but Matt ignored her. He didn't even turn off his headphones when his stepmother spoke to him. Just then, Lassie burst into the room and playfully stole Matt's headphones. Angry, he yelled and chased after the dog, but she was too fast. Lassie led Matt through the house, across the meadow, and into the woods.
What do you want? Hey, come on, cut it out. Look, I said cut it out. Hey! Hey! Come back here! Come on, give me those! Stop this right now! I'm gonna kill you! Give me my headphones! Hey, wait a minute! Stay! Stay! Heel!
Lassie led Matt to a beautiful waterfall. The water flowed into a crystal-clear pool. Hanging from a tree over the pool was a rope swing. Matt was enchanted. He spent hours playing with Lassie and splashing in the pure, clean water. On his way home, Matt was startled by a man holding a rifle. He was aiming it at Lassie. It was Sam Garland, the Turners' new neighbor. Sam was surprised to see the young boy on the land.
Don't shoot! Hey, mister, that's my dog!
Sam lowered his rifle when he learned that Matt was his new neighbor. He didn't seem happy to have people moving in next door. When Matt returned home, his father had bad news. He was supposed to build a house for the Jarman family, but they had run out of money. Now, Matt's parents weren't sure if the family could stay in Franklin Falls. To his family's surprise, Matt had mixed feelings. He was actually starting to like it here. The next day, Jennifer and Matt started school. The building was much smaller than his last school. There were other differences too. Matt was surprised to see a girl bring in a live baby goat for show and tell. Outside, Lassie waited for Matt to finish class. On his way home after school, Matt discovered his mother's initials, AC, carved in an old oak tree. It felt strange to think that his mother had been there too. He wished he could share the view of the farm with her. That evening, Grandpa Len showed Matt how to build a fire. Lightning and thunder roared outside. Matt still thought of his mother. He just couldn't accept his stepmother Laura in her place. Abruptly, he stormed upstairs. He wanted to be alone. Lassie watched as Matt tossed a tennis ball around his room. Accidentally, the ball flew into an open closet. When it landed, Matt heard a loud crash. While cleaning up, he discovered his mother's diary. Inside, he learned of her secret wish to have a sheep farm. Reading the diary made him feel closer to his mother, but now he missed her more than ever. Hearing his family laugh downstairs made him feel even worse. He slipped out of the house, alone, into the wild storm. Lassie knew it wasn't safe for Matt to be outside. The collie barked and barked, trying to get Steve to let her out. She wanted to protect Matt, but the father didn't understand.
Lassie, believe me, you don't want to go out in that storm.
If we do it like
Oh, that'd be great.
Determined, Lassie climbed through a window and into the storm to find her companion. Matt headed for his secret place, the pool by the waterfall. He was wet and cold, but he found shelter in a dark cave. Soon he sensed that something was watching him. He looked up to see a large gray wolf with yellow eyes staring right at him. Matt was frozen with fear. The wolf growled and snarled. Just when it seemed like it was ready to attack Matt, Lassie was there to protect him. Immediately, the two animals attacked each other. Matt could barely see. Lightning flashes illuminated the battling dogs. Then it was quiet. As Matt crept toward the cave entrance, Lassie suddenly came forward. She licked Matt's face. Lassie had saved Matt's life. They huddled in the cold air and waited for the storm to end. Matt was beginning to
good memory.